Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your daily Baltimore sports podcast. My name is Nathan Stroud, and today we're going to be going over and talking about the Orioles win over the Yankees. They won 4-2 over the Yankees today, and also we're going to go over some Ravens practice updates as well for their game coming up on Monday. They do not play on Sunday. They do play on Monday Night Football prime time, so again, they get that extra day of practice, an extra day of the injury report. So we're going to be going over that, and we're also going to be going over the Orioles 4-2 win over the Yankees. Again, I'll say it one more time. Now, 8 games remain for the Orioles. We're doing a little bit of a countdown here on Birds of a Feather, going over how many Orioles games are remaining. You know, I'm sure a ton of people are kind of off the Orioles train because it's the end of the year and stuff like that, but obviously we're going over every single game just like we've done all year long. So the Orioles go out there, get a win today over the Yankees to tie the series up 1-1 with 2 games remaining in this 4-game series. They obviously play today, or technically tomorrow on Saturday, and then they do play on Sunday. But this is also the last fan appreciation weekend for the season for the Orioles, because obviously next weekend where their season ends, they're going to be on the road in New York. So this is the last fan appreciation weekend ballpark games for the Orioles. So obviously the Orioles and their staff and the team is celebrating that accordingly. But let's just go over this Orioles game. So going over this Orioles game, obviously the Orioles win 4-2 over the New York Yankees. The Orioles record moves to 73-81 on the year. Obviously, with the loss they had yesterday, it is now impossible for the Orioles to be above 500 on the year. The best that they can do is 81-81, but that would require them to win the next 8 games, which I just don't really think that they're going to do. But, there's obviously always hope with that. But going over the offense, 7 total hits in the game, 4 total runs scored for the Orioles. They were scoring all spread out throughout the game. They took an early 1-0 lead, then they were up 3-0, and then it was 3-2, and then they made it 4-2 and ended up getting the win from there. But going over this entire lineup today, pitching and, obviously position players as a whole, the whole starting card with Trevor Rogers pitching and the entire lineup card, it was beautiful. This is the team that we've been waiting to see. This team is the most well-constructed team you could possibly have, aside from maybe adding Adley Rutschman. But still, this team is beautiful. The way that they played. Obviously, they didn't go out there and put up a ton of runs, but this is the lineup that we've been waiting to see. Mainly with Jordan Westbrook added in, with Basayo, Beavers, and Jeremiah Jackson all playing. So very great lineup to see. But going over this lineup in general, Jackson Holliday didn't have a great day today. Over the past few games, he hasn't been doing great. Obviously, in the month of September as a whole, he's done solid. For at least the first half of September, he was great. But these past few games have not been great for Jackson. He went 0 for 4 in today's game. And then Jordan Westbrook was batting second. He went 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Gunnar Henderson had 2 hits in this game. He was the only Oriole with multiple hits. And kind of with Gunnar and Jackson, they've kind of been going the opposite way. For the whole beginning of the month of September, Jackson was playing amazing. He was doing great, but Gunnar was really struggling early on in this month. But now that we've kind of hit the midway point, Jackson's kind of regressing a little bit in this month, and Gunnar is starting to really play a lot better here recently. But Gunnar was the only player in this game for the Orioles, and the only player in this entire game, Yankees included, that put up multiple hits. So Gunnar Henderson, 2 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. So 3 total on-base appearances for Gunnar. Ryan Mountcastle went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run. Ryan Mountcastle had a solo home run. It was the only home run hit by an Oriole today. It was a solo home run in the second inning for Ryan Mountcastle. He played great. He's been playing great ever since he came up off of the injured list about a month ago. Ryan Mountcastle, he's doing his thing. Dylan Beavers goes 0 for 3 with a walk in this game. Jeremiah Jackson goes 1 for 3 with a walk in today's game. Samuel Basayo goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Colton Cowser goes 1 for 4, and Kobe Mayo goes 0 for 3. So overall, the offense played solid. 7 total hits, 4 total runs scored. Not the greatest day in the world, but it was enough to get the win thanks to the pitching in this game for the Orioles. Going over to the pitching for the Orioles, who got the start? None other than the GOAT himself, the man himself, the guy who's having one of the best stories all season in all of baseball, and that's Trevor Rogers. He went out there today and did what Trevor Rogers has done all season long, and that is just completely dominate. Trevor Rogers in today's game, he got the win, 9-2 on the year in his 16 starts. But Trevor Rogers, in his 17 starts. But Trevor Rogers gets through 6 innings of work, gives up 1 hit, 2 walks, 0 runs, and has 7 strikeouts across 6 innings. Again, 6 innings scoreless, only let up 3 total base runners and had 7 strikeouts, and 106 pitch count across 6 innings, and his ERA lowers to a 1.35. Might be asking, how is it possible for an ERA that's like around a 1.4 to drop? Ask Trevor Rogers, man. This guy is the GOAT. He's been playing so incredible all year long. There's literally not a single thing you can even say bad about Trevor Rogers this season. Ever since we called him up back in that series against Boston in Boston, ever since he came up from AAA in that series, he has been untouchable. He has been incredible all year. Trevor Rogers going out here doing his thing once again, gets his 9th win of the year, 6 innings, 0 runs, 7 strikeouts, and now a 1.35 ERA through 17 starts. That is insane. That is borderline historical. That is absolutely insane by Trevor Rogers, and he's going out here and proving once again why he really is one of the better pitchers in baseball right now. I don't know how you can see what he's been doing and not think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. If we go in here and just look at his stats just a little bit deeper, through 106 innings pitched this year, he has 17 starts, 106 innings, and he's given up 16 runs in 106 innings, has a 1.35 ERA, and has 100 strikeouts through 106 innings pitched. He has been absolutely insane with a whip of .87 across 17 starts. This isn't like 10 starts. This isn't 8 starts. This isn't 12 starts. This is 17 starts this year for Trevor Rogers, and he has been incredible all year long. But going over to the bullpen, Dietrich Enns goes in the game, does put up a little bit of a scare in this game for the Orioles, does come in 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, and a home run in this game. Gave up a 2-run homer in this game. Dietrich Enns was a little bit scary. Does give up the 2 runs. It makes the game 3-2, and then the Orioles go and get that insurance run thanks to Samuel Basallo. But Rico Garcia comes in, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, but doesn't give up a run. And then Keegan Aiken once again comes in for the save, gets his 8th save of the year, 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 runs, and 2 strikeouts. And recently, Keegan Aiken's been doing a lot better in terms of actually finishing out the game and closing out the game. I remember whenever Felix got hurt for the first time, they started using Keegan Aiken as the primary closer, and he was really struggling early on. You go back and think to that loss they had to Chicago where Justin Turner had a walk-off against them. But Keegan Aiken, his 8th save of the year. He's been doing very solid recently, which is great to see. But going over to the game tomorrow, obviously this is game 3 of 4 in this 4-game series. It's going to be Tomoyuki Sagano versus Carlos Rodon. Rodon's been incredible for the Yankees this year. Sagano obviously has had his struggles, but recently he's been doing okay. So hopefully the Orioles can get this win tomorrow, and just hopefully they can win as many games as they possibly can as they close out this year. But going over to the Ravens, switching it up here to the injury report. This is the injury report from today. This is the injury report from the 19th of September. Obviously, the most caught-up injury report from Friday's practice. Obviously, there's going to be one more practice tomorrow on Saturday, and then Sunday, I think they might do like a walkthrough, but probably not because it's a day before the game. And then obviously Monday is going to be the game. Not Sunday, Monday. So this Sunday night, we're going to be doing, or sometime on Sunday, we're going to be doing a game preview for the game on Monday. And then obviously on Monday, we're going to be doing a recap of the game. But we're probably going to have one more, Ravens practice updates for tomorrow. But going over the practice updates, quotes from everyone. Obviously, everyone's extremely confident. They understand the Lions' firepower on offense, but they are very confident that they can sustain it as much as they can, obviously. But more importantly, the injury report. The injury report throughout the year is always one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, because obviously having your guys at full power is great to see. But going over the injury report, it's the same 8 players that were obviously on it yesterday. Rasheen Ali got another full practice, which is good. Marlon Humphrey getting in another full practice, so it looks like he's going to be 100% good to go. Back-to-back full practices for Marlon. John Jenkins gets in a full practice today after being limited yesterday, which is good. Isaiah Likely putting in another limited practice, which shouldn't really scare anybody. Like, everyone's going to say, oh my God, he's had 2 or 3 limited practices in a row. Is he going to be ready for, Monday night? Yes, I do think he's going to be ready for Monday night. Obviously, they're being cautious with Isaiah Likely. They understand how important of a piece he is to this team. So I do think that Isaiah is going to get a full practice in tomorrow. And then if he gets a full practice in tomorrow, that pretty much confirms that he's going to be good to go for Monday. So seeing Isaiah Likely out there in the field, obviously a very, very big thing. Namandi Madubuike did not play today, which is not great. That is now back-to-back DNPs. If he's able to log in a limited practice tomorrow, that'd be nice. But it's not really looking good for Madubuike. Not looking good for Pat Ricard, who still has not played in practice. Not looking good for Calvin Noy, but obviously we knew this. We knew that he was going to be out for, at least, maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks of the season, which is obviously a big loss. But Nate Wiggins coming back, playing in a limited practice today is good. So hopefully Nate can get in a full practice tomorrow and be good to go for that Lions game. Obviously, that Nate Wiggins injury was kind of like a freak accident. Chidobe Awuzie jumping on his back, injuring his groin. He didn't play yesterday in practice, but today he did get in a practice in a limited fashion, of course. But that is still very, very good to see. But also in practice, from something that you can see with the players, they look extremely, extremely confident. And even when you go to, pictures right here, obviously this is Lamar Jackson, QB1 in motion. You can look here at the badges on his jersey, the, 2-time MVP, 4-time Pro Bowler himself. People are looking very confident. Obviously the Ravens are sitting at 1-1 right now. People can say that that's disappointing, which, maybe. Should the Ravens be 2-0? Yeah, we all understand what happened in Week 1. We understand how they lost that game. We understand how heartbreaking that Week 1 game is. But as I said last week, going into this Browns game, once they got to 1-1, you're at a clean slate again, and you go from there. So obviously the Ravens could be 2-0 right now. Obviously they could have won that Week 1 game against the Bills in a very easy fashion, but they kind of obviously choked the game away at the end. Which that loss is going to sting, especially at the end of the year if the Bills and Ravens are close for a bye. The Bills are going to have the tiebreaker because they beat us, obviously, this season. But going over, just looking at the Ravens as of right now, they're sitting at 1-1. They're at a clean slate. They're 1-1 right now. And you move forward from there. Obviously, you have Detroit, you have Kansas City, you have Houston, and you have the Rams on your next 4 opponents. But thank you guys so much for tuning into and listening to this episode of Birds of a Feather. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow up on Spotify. Make sure to click the link in the bio as well to check out the Instagram and the Twitter. I post live updates on Instagram and Twitter, live game updates, live updates from the games, live game updates, live updates just in general, any sort of news, any sort of just live reactions to everything. Make sure to give the Twitter a follow. Make sure to give the Instagram a follow. Again, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. Having a ton of fun doing the show, obviously. It's just the beginning. Obviously, we're at the end of the Orioles season, as we know, but it is really just the beginning with this show because we got all of Ravens football to still go over. So, again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You have a great Steelers day. Go O's, go Ravens, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.